What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan with Conquer Trading and Investing. In this video today, we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin. We're going to be looking about over the last week and a half how our patience is paying off and how we're getting set up for the kill. Big move incoming. Everyone knows how to play. It's a different story. People getting chopped around, upside, downside, staying neutral and on the sidelines and waiting and pouncing when it's time could lead to a significant stack of sats right now. How's your 2022 been? How many trades have you been taking on the buy side? Whether it's been on Bitcoin or Ethereum, it should be far and few between. The action's been on the sell side, but if you're only trading buy side, right? Buy side spot only, you have to make sure that you pick your setups. Everyone, if you enjoy this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Before we get into Bitcoin, I want to take a look and talk about oil. Last we left off, oil was breaking out over here, was breaking out over here. And I didn't take this trade to the upside. I stood aside, showing that patience actually, because I had missed the entry on Monday. Monday, I was traveling with my wife from a baptism in Mexico. We missed this entry, so I did not chase after price just to show that discipline. It would have been a good trade. Price actually went up quite nicely enough to go ahead and manage a trade and at least take a break even on it. And then you could see since just that patience waiting for things to develop. Do we have any more clarity now? What happened is that we had this green trend line in acting as support. Price came into it, bounced, and then rolled over. Look what happened as price rolled over. You see the breakdown, the retest, and then finally and ultimately resuming off right now. And if I extend this trend line out a little bit to you right now, you'll see that price is, it didn't come in and touch it. You know what it did? It came in and it touched support. Here's that entry over here, that yellow line mark that would have been, what should have been the correct entry. Price has come back down and tested that level. You could see that perfect touch over here. And price now consolidating in no man's land. Is it a place to be accumulating? I don't think so. I want to continue to back off right now. I want to wait and I want to watch. I'm looking for lower prices at this point to look to see if they come and if it looks like an opportunity. And you know what? I might not even take the entry. But this is still technically a bullish breakout. You have the 2022 high. You can see that nice trend line. You can see the break of the trend line. And you can see price coming in right now in for a retest of that area. It's still, even though we're in no man's land right now, if price were able to resume out of over here, you can see this level over here. Where am I looking for? I'm looking for some support. So I have it all the way above 93 and maybe just waiting to see if that momentum returns to the upside and significantly higher would be a safer entry for momentum. I'm going to go ahead and make that a little bit brighter as we come back. And when we ever get to that, we'll know and we'll be watching and waiting. Until then, though, I think it pays to just sit on the side and watch and continue to review what's going on. Let's move over and take a look at what's going on Bitcoin. We have over here our very clear map that has helped keep us out of this chop, including on CPI and that long spike down, that big wick up, taking out a lot of people, getting a lot of people chasing to the downside. And then those people chasing to the downside obviously felt the pain. And then you saw a lot of people chasing to the upside. And then since then, we've been going back and forth. And we've just kind of been waiting, right? We're talking about, at first, initially, we were waiting for a break of this outer trend line. It was in yesterday's session that we entered, or we added this red trend line over here for people that are looking for a more aggressive entry to the upside, a close above this red line. Still, no matter where you enter, I'll call this conservative and I'll call this aggressive. Wherever you enter, make sure that you are managing your risk. That is paramount. Now, this is a confirmation or an affirmation that you're seeing price break out, a break above that line. And then we added, and we've had this trend line over here, this red line before we added this one over here. And we're saying a close below that line, that offers an aggressive opportunity on a breakdown. Right now, same thing as the outer line is the conservative line. The outer line over here is the conservative line. A close below that is showing, confirming a breakdown. Get ready. It could be a big one. This could really be a big one. Big move down, big move up. Is it dependent on what? Is it depending on earnings? Potentially, I think likely if earnings disappoint, I expect that equity markets are going to be selling off big. You saw yesterday, Apple came out and said that they wound down their estimates of what their production was going to be for the new iPhone. I don't even know what number they're up to, probably 14 million. Either which way. We also saw that Netflix came out, though, and they were beating on their subscribers, new subscribers. So it could go either which way. The big earnings, when I talk about big earnings, I'm talking about big tech. I'm talking about Google, Microsoft. They come in the last week of October. So that will be next week. I forget the dates. I had a tweet on it. I'll check in with you next week as we get closer to it. But I assume that if we have earnings or disappointing earnings, we could see equity markets and Bitcoin, crypto making a big leg down. At the same time, if we continue to see earnings come in as expected and that guidance looking favorable, markets are not really priced for that. And we could be off to seeing a bounce. A bounce could become a rally. That rally could become a bear market rally. And there's a lot of seasonably favorable. People say, where are the fundamentals for any type of buying right now or any type of up move? As soon as the earnings are over and the blackout window for corporate buying ends, buybacks, you're looking at $5 billion a day, all of November, all of December. It's why the seasonals favor the end of the year. You're also looking at CTA repositioning on any type of little bounce. And we came close to it just the other day. Let me just jump out to you and pull up over here. Where could I find over here the NASDAQ as we were looking at? We just missed. It was around this area we were pointing out where we would actually have to see some repositioning to the upside. So it could go either way. It's a neutral market. By the way, just while we're looking at the NASDAQ over here, you could see this area of resistance above there would signify that we were looking up. I also see that I'm seeing this nice continuation pattern developing over here, getting ready to sell and to dump, right? That would be the potential line of attack. You can see over here, I'm looking at where we have this little bit of support closing below there, right? And it might be a little lower. I like 11,000. I'm going to move that line down to 11,000. And you can see on the left, I'm over here on the right. And what I did was at 11,000. You see this area where price made support in all these touches? Let me zoom in a little bit. You can see this touch over here, this touch over here, and then go to the left a little more with your eyes. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It's a good clean line. I'm actually going to move this down, even though price is making support over here. Let me add another one. All right. I'm just going to draw that in. Now, getting below that line, look on the right where you have. I'm sorry, on the left where you have. And on the left, right over here, you can see that area coincides with a break of that trend line. That's what I would be looking for any type of resumption on the downside. If you enjoy the content, the time we spend together, I know I enjoy spending it with you. I enjoyed all the comments yesterday. I enjoyed going live with you all. I really enjoy that. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you're new here, do subscribe. This is probably some of the most underrated content out there. That's fine. We're here to enjoy the community that we have, and it's really good sometimes to kind of be under the radar like that. So we're looking for resolution of this coil. Price is coiling up really strong over here. We added now over here the red lines. A close below is an aggressive entry, conservative entry, and confirmation will be a close below. A close above or below these lines does not guarantee a successful trade or anything like that. So this is why going into the trade, you know where your stop loss is, and wherever your stop loss is, that is how you're able to manage your risk and position your trade. We need to add a green line over here to the downside. So let me go ahead and do that also. All right, because we could break out either which way, and we're getting close. And just to show that it could go either which way, we'll leave it like that. And just talk about a little bit positioning. CTM 2.0 style, long trades initiated, taken out. They did not enter. They were filtered out on the shorts over here. So although I would like to be positioned on the short side at this particular time, look, you know what? It's just a trade that we sat out. That's why I talk about the beautiful dance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why Ethereum is holding a short position and Ethereum is running flat. Ethereum looks very weak. If they do break down, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I do expect that we're going to see Ethereum lead to the downside anyway. I would like to be participating in both. The trade's filtered out. I'm not short. I'm just short over here on the Ethereum. And you can see over here, this is just looking pretty. It reminds me of a lot of November, December 2018, where price around $6,000 just went flat and sideways. If you're not familiar with it, let me just show you really quick. I believe most of you are, nevertheless. Let's jump over. Let's look at the 8-hour time frame. I like the 8-hour. And you can see right now that price is running flat and sideways. Now, there is one notable difference, and that's volume. And you can see that we've seen, right, off the bottom over here. This is pre. This is like the bear market of 2022. And you can see that since volume has been rising in this area. Now, let me go back to 2018, where the last time price was running flat like that before the breakdown. And you could see, right, there it is right there. So you can see price very similar to now, sideways, sideways, sideways. Look at that volatility, upside, downside, lots of fake outs, but sideways price action and low volume. You could see that looking into the bear market of 2018, that volume was actually a little higher. Volume dwindled over here as price went sideways. Volume was low throughout the whole bear market. And then after, you saw volume come into the market and increase. So look, it's and as you know, it's a coin flip which way this breaks, to the upside or downside. But we've looked at last week how right now we are looking at some historically low volatility levels on Bitcoin. That does lead to explosive moves. Expect one is coming and expect a shakeout. What would a shakeout mean or be? Maybe we get a breakout to the upside, like forget a close over the red line, a breakout over here on the upside, and then like it fails. And that could add some massive juice to the downside, and that could go vice versa, but expect that. Have those expectations that when you get into this trade finally, and by the way, good job staying outside of this trade, right? CTM 1.0. And then when you get into it, hopefully it's the trade that you see a nice 30% move and or more, upside or downside. But if it's not, be ready to go and flip and switch to the other side. That's our update for today. Please go ahead, share the love, spread the love, hit the like button. I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, everyone. May God bless you.